Hello there, Finitians. Welcome to another practice session on Venn diagrams of three things. Hopefully, you guys are like, this stuff's weird, but it's challenging in a refreshing way. So, 6.2 Venn diagram practice. We're just going to be practicing some more of these word problems. So, if you've been doing fine with those, awesome. But chances are you might need a little more help. So, basically, just going to run through some examples with you. So if you want to try them on your own and then check these out later, you can certainly do that. So complete the Venn diagrams for the following scenarios. Star Wars. A survey of 200 students were asked what their favorite episode of Star Wars of the original trilogy is. All right. So I like to start these always by saying, well, everything in the end needs to add up to 200. Okay. I'll have my calculator here handy to help me out. And we'll go from there. So again, universe 200. 22 poor souls have not seen any episode. So 22 are out there. Okay, that is that number there. 73 only watched A New Hope. ANH. So only. So that means they are just in this portion of the pie. They didn't see anything else. 73 is right there. Why is my pen all funky? Okay. 136 in total watched A New Hope. Okay. So the whole pie at the end should be 136. So remember the difference between only and total. 14 watched only The Empire Strikes Back. Only The Empire Strikes Back and The Return of the Jedi. Okay. So only The Empire Strikes Back and The Return of the Jedi. That means they must be here. Okay, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi does not say that they watched A New Hope. Okay, so that's 14 in there. 31 watched only A New Hope and Return of the Jedi. A New Hope, Return of the Jedi. 31 watched only those two. 63 watched The Empire Strikes Back, so that must be 63 here. Okay. And 135 did not watch The Return of the Jedi. So that means everything outside ROJ must equal 135 all added up. Okay, so let's start to decipher some of this extra stuff we have going on, because these can get a little challenging. Okay, so let's see here. It would be nice if we could find this particular spot, which we can. We know the whole thing's 136. So if we take 136, we know the whole thing's 136. So if we take, we know the whole thing's 136. So if we take 136 and we subtract the 73 and we subtract the 31, we end up getting that this piece must consist of 32 things. Now, I don't know how it's broken up just yet, but it's kind of like a Band-Aid. Okay, we know that in the end, that's going to be 32. Okay, now what else do we know then? So, Empire Strikes Back. So we have this whole piece, we have this part, and we have this part, so we can find this number inside. 136, or actually 63, sorry. So 63 minus the 32 minus the 14 is 17. Okay. Then we have that piece there. So we still have a few things. We don't know exactly what this number is. We don't know exactly what this number is. But we're starting to fill everything together. The next piece. So we didn't quite do anything with this 135 to not watch Return of the Jedi. Okay. What we can do is think of the opposite. So a few things. We have every piece essentially filled but right here. So if we take the 200 and we subtract each of these, we can get the number of Return of the Jedi only. So let's take our 200 minus the 22 minus the 73 minus the 32, minus 31, minus 14, and minus the 17, and we get 11. That had to be right there. Okay. Now these are kind of like like pushing a snowball, okay, down a mountain. Okay, as it starts to go, then it gets bigger and bigger. Okay, once you start to push that snowball down and find some things, hopefully the events start to make sense here. Okay. So Return of the Jedi, everything outside is 135. That means everything inside Return of the Jedi must be the opposite. 200 minus 135 is 65. Okay, so think about it. If 135 did not watch Return of the Jedi, okay, they were out here. Well, that means 65 did watch Return of the Jedi. With that, now I know that part of it is 11, part of it's 14, part of it's 31. I can find this middle piece. I would do that by taking 65 minus 11 minus 14 minus 31 and get 9. Okay, so 9 must be right in the middle. Well, so our Band-Aid, if this part's 9 and this part and the whole thing's 32, well, what's 32 minus 9? That's 23. Okay, so we can get rid of our little Band-Aid there. And then each individual piece is added up. Now, it's a good idea to check. So does everything still add up to 63 in our little mini circle? So 17 plus 14 plus 9 plus 23. 63, that's good. 136, 73 plus 23 plus 9 plus 31. So I'm checking A New Hope, 136. And it's always a good idea to check, see if everything in the end adds up to 200. So I'm just going to add together every single piece. 22 outside, 73, 22, 73, 31, 9, 23, 17, 14, and 11. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. I think I did. 200. No, I didn't. Okay, so that is all solved. That was a tricky one. So remember, 35 did not watch. It also means that 65 did watch. So a little challenging one right off the bat. All right. Try out this one. So again, you can try on your own. If you get stuck, then jump back and watch what's going on. Survey of 100. Survey says, okay, if they knew what any of the following were: Wampa, Navis, and Zerg. If you don't know what those are, you can look them up on your computer. If you don't, well, yeah, look them up. If you do, congrats. 25 did not know of any of these, so 25 hanging out outside there. 3 knew all 3. That is convenient. If you have that middle number, that's often very nice. 48 people knew of the Navis or the Zerg, but not the Wampa. Navis or Zerg, or. Okay, so 48 knew of Navis or Zerg, not the Wampa. So just think. That means these 3 pieces, since it's or, must be 48. Okay, so don't fill out anything too specific. That just means that these 3 things, okay, must add up to 48 in the end. Okay, so we'll take care of that later. 40 knew of Zerg, so all of Zerg must be 40. 21 knew at least 2, what at least 2 of these were. So what that means is everything that's overlapping, okay, all that must be equal to 21 in the end. Okay, 7 knew of the Wampa and the Zerg, but not the Navis. And, okay, Wampa and Zerg. So that's here, not the Navis, means this is 7. Wampa and Zerg. Remember, these pieces inside are and, not the Navis. And 8 knew what the Wampa and Navis were. Wampa, Navis, 8 must be this whole thing. Okay, it doesn't say anything about the Zerg, so we're just going to assume they knew what those were. Well, if this whole thing is 8, that means this part must be 5. So notice here it says, but not the Navis. Here it doesn't have that info, so you're going to assume they knew that the Zerg as well. Now, okay, we ran out of clues, so 5, 3 is 8. We know everything in the middle is 21, so 21 minus 10, okay, minus 5 means this piece must be 6, okay? So that's pretty nice. Well, some of our new information. So again, thinking this as a pie, we know all of Zerg is 40, and we have parts of it here. So 40 minus 7 minus 3 minus 6 means that's 24. Well, what else did we know? We knew that 48 is all the gold stuff. So 48 now minus 24 and minus 6, hey, that's 18. Okay, so really, the last thing we need to solve is what's in here. Well, we have every piece except for that. So again, think backwards. If we have every piece but this, just take your 100 and subtract all the little pieces from that. So 100 minus 5 minus 3 minus 7 minus 18 minus 6 minus 24 is 37. Boom. All right. I know these aren't formally graded for right now. One, if you know what the Wampa's from, that's Star Wars. 2, the Navis, that's the movie Avatar. And the Zerg, there's 2 possible answers. I was thinking StarCraft. Okay. If you know Toy Story, there's Emperor Zurg as well. Okay. So that's that one there. 150 people at a Foo Fighters concert asked if they knew how to play piano, drums, or guitar. So 150. That's our number outside. 18, can't play any. I don't know how to play piano, drums, or guitar, so that's me. 10 can play all 3, so they're right in the middle. 77, guitar or drums, not piano. Guitar, drums, not piano, or. So boom, boom, boom means all those must be 77. 49 could play at least 2 of the instruments. So again, that means everything inside the overlaps must be 49. 3 could play piano and guitar, not drums. Piano, guitar, no drums means this is 3. And 21 could play piano and the drums. Piano, drums, doesn't say anything about guitar, so I'm going to assume this whole piece is 21, which means that must be 11. So the problem seems to be following very similarly that last one. We have 49 things in the middle parts. So 49 minus 11 minus 10 minus 3 means this piece must be 25. Okay. Do we know much else at this point? 73 could play guitar. I don't think I plucked that in there. 73. Okay. So again, we can find the number of only guitars by taking 73 minus 25 minus 10 minus 3, which is 35. I again can find 77 with those missing parts. 77 minus 25 minus 35 is 17. Okay, and very similar to last problem, we're going to follow by subtracting everything from 150. 150 minus all the pieces inside, 18, 10, 3, 17, 25, 35. Did I miss anything? 31. Okay. And then all that being said, so that question was very similar to the last one, fortunately. Getting used to some of those tricks. And I believe that's everything for those. Languages. So again, try this one out yourself. 208 is our universe. Foreign language department, French, German, Spanish. 4 students take all 3. Boom. 48 students study French. French. 48. That's a terrible French accent. 136 in total watched A New Hope. What are we talking about A New Hope for? That must be a typo. Let's see. But we do know this. There are twice as many students who study both French and Spanish, but not German, as those who study both French and German, but not Spanish. Whew, we're going to come back to that in a little bit. 124 students study Spanish. 124 study Spanish. 27 don't study any. All right. And the group of students who study French and Spanish, but not German, is exactly the same size as the group made up of students who study both German and Spanish. So let's decipher some of this stuff going on here. Let's look at this last one for right now. Group of students who study French and Spanish, but not German. And let's highlight that. French, Spanish, not German. French, Spanish, not German. That's right here. Okay, so good old mathematics. Let's represent that with number x. Okay, so that number is exactly the same as a group made up of students who study both German and Spanish. German and Spanish. Okay, so that is right here. So x, so gold must be equal to this group here. So we know that together, that's also x. Okay, let's see what else we've got here. There are twice as many students who study French and Spanish, but not German. French and Spanish. French and Spanish, not German. Okay, so we already have that. Twice as many students who study both French and Spanish, not German, as those who study both French and German, but not Spanish. So this is 1/2 x. Okay. 4 times as many who study all 3. Okay, so 4 times as many who study all 3. Well, studying all 3, there's 4 of them. Okay, so if there are 4 times as many within this orange spot, okay, that means 4 times 4, this must be 16. Okay, with that being 16, okay, study all 3 is 4. We know together this is 16 minus, or this whole thing 16, so 16 minus 4, that must be 12. And this part, 1/2 x, must be 8. Whew, a little bit of math trickiness for you, but it's all good logic. So 8, 4, 12. After that, hopefully, it's that snowball effect. French, 48. So we're going to take away from the French folk 8, 4, and 16. meaning this is 20. All right. Spanish, I can find only Spanish. So let's take care of the only Spanish. 124 minus 16 minus 4 minus 12. All right, that's 92. And lastly, the German, only speaking. So we have every piece. Hey, look at that frog. We have every piece except for the only German. So 208 minus all the little pieces. Whew. Is 29. All right. So those were a little more challenging. I understand. Again, just challenge yourself. They're logic type thinking problems. I'm glad you guys watched these. If you struggled, hopefully you came back and checked them out. But those are the answers essentially. So by going back and trying them out, you should have them. So great job, guys. Submit that, what you did, and have a great day.